Howdy y'all, welcome back to another slime review. Today we've got Pilot Slimes, and this is from their Halloween restock. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. And so what comes in a Pilot Slimes slime box? Of course we get some slime care instructions. This came with a cute sticker and some borax. It was packed with a bunch of packing peanuts, and each of the slimes were individually wrapped in bubble wrap. I would just like to remind everybody that I purchase all these slimes with my own money, regrettably, because I'm going broke. But I really love slime, and I really love sharing my experience with them with you. First, we got It's Fricken Bats. This is based on a meme, and the texture is bingsu. The scent is black cherry ice cream, and the price was $15.99. I really enjoyed how crispy and poppy this one was. I wasn't really familiar with the meme until I saw this slime and looked it up. So I'm really curious how many people have actually seen this meme before seeing the slime. The slime ASMR was great. I really enjoyed that. But one thing I'll say is this may not be for people with sensitive noses. The scent, although it smells really delicious, it's very strong. I know some Slimers like really strong scents, so this one may be for you. For me, it's a little bit intense, as well as it could leave a smell on your hands. So if you're not really good with smells, you may want to steer clear from this one. It was very holdable. There was no stickiness or tackiness to this. So I really liked that. And out of the entire bunch, when it comes to slime ASMR, this was my favorite one. One thing I'll say is that I was really surprised because this is my first white glue bingsu slime, and I really like it. I would definitely go for a white glue bingsu slime in the future. I think because of how holdable it was, which was really nice, because we've seen some really packed bingsu slimes that can get sticky and tacky. This one is supposed to be like a semi bingsu, and it's really nice because it's not sticky at all. So just something to consider if you're thinking of grabbing this one. I mean, for real, listen to that crisp and that pop. Love it. So overall, I would definitely recommend this one, especially if you wanted to try a bingsu, but you weren't sure about how sticky they could be, as long as you're good with strong scents. Next is Rainbow Road. This is a pigmented putty. The scent is Rainbow Cereal, and the price was $20.99. Rainbow Cereal, let's just be real, it smells like Fruity Pebbles, which was really nice, and I can't get over how beautiful this one was. I made sure to have some footage of it in the sun as well, because the video does not give it justice. It's so beautiful in the sun. You can really see that hollow pigment. And then you'll see here where it's not in direct sunlight, but it still looks like almost like a starry night. It's so beautiful. One thing I think was really nice Pilot Slimes did is one of the charms, that center charm, is actually meant for Crocs. So you can see on the back. So it's a usable charm that you can use it after playing with your slime, which is really nice and considerate. I definitely have like a giant baggie full of just slime charms. So talking about the texture of this, it's very holdable. It is a putty slime, so you have to work it very slowly. This was my first Pilot Slimes order, so I wasn't familiar with the putty texture, so it's very holdable. It's not sticky, but you have to move it slow or it's going to rip. I did get a question in the comments about why I didn't inflate this one. I'm just going to be honest, like the texture wasn't really conducive to being inflated. You had to move it very slowly. You could poke it, you could, you know, fold it on itself and make some pops. And I did try and do my usual inflation routine, which this is what came out of it. And I mean, you get some slime ASMR, but it's not like amazing. Pilot Slimes also warns that if you do try to inflate it too much, it will turn silver. I didn't get to that point with this, but I did get to that point with the slasher one. Overall, I love this slime, but I gotta say, $20.99 is really steep. I think you may be able to find another hollow pigmented slime somewhere else. But that's just my 2 cents. $20.99, and I couldn't really get a lot of ASMR out of it. So then we got Slimers. This is a DIY clay sand snow butter texture. The scent is supposed to be Snicker bar. It was $18.99. I wish that things came a little bit more separated so I could assemble things, because what ended up happening is my Slimers was on its side, and so the sand portion was kind of, you'll see, I kind of turn it around and you see that the sand had all gone to one side, and then the caramel part kind of went to another side. Yeah, so I wasn't able to get the full experience. My favorite part of this slime was actually this part right here, where I was really mixing everything, because you could really get a good sand ASMR sound. It was really nice. The smell, I'll say, is not really Snicker bar. I asked my partner, he said the same thing, like it wasn't giving Snicker. Maybe like a chocolatey slime smell, but it definitely was not Snicker. There wasn't like a caramel peanutty smell to it. It was more just kind of an overall warm chocolatey smell. Also, I'll say that after I mixed everything together, I was kind of disappointed because the sand was definitely not as crunchy and sizzly as like a normal sand slime. I mean, I guess you would say this is like a butter sand, but everything, it was more of like a slime for squishing, and I really didn't get much crunch, not much pop. I was kind of disappointed with that. I didn't really get fallout. I heard some people had fallout, but I didn't really have that. Overall, it was nice, but I can't say that I would return to this one very often. And like most DIY clays, like once you mix it all together, it's not as fun. Last but not least, you get Slasher Slime. This is another pigmented putty slime texture. It has a velvety musk scent, and it was $17.99. This one was so pretty. I love all of their pigmented slimes. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. This one goes from like a black to a red to an orangey brown. It's just so pretty. And then it has hollow knives in it. Glitters, hollow knife glitters. So one thing I'll say compared to Rainbow Road, this one was a little bit more forgiving. So it did give in to me stretching it a little faster. So I'm curious if Rainbow Road, as it melts, will eventually let me do that as well. So I was able to inflate this one a little bit more, and it did turn silver like Pilot Slimes said it would once you get all the air bubbles in there. But even once I did that, I will say I wouldn't call it an inflated slime. I mean, there's air bubbles in it, but I was able to fit it back into the container. It really didn't inflate. Like, it doesn't turn into like a whipped texture or anything like that. I'm moving it slow because, like I said, the texture just isn't really conducive to like moving it really, really fast. This one did give a little bit more pops and crunches, so I really liked that. Like I said, it was a little bit softer than the Rainbow Roads was. I just couldn't get over the color. And it's just very holdable. It's really hard because usually like clear glue slimes are very difficult to work with because they're not very holdable, but this is just amazing. All right, so this is after I've inflated it quite a bit, and you can see it turned silver. That's all the air bubbles inside of the slime. But even with it inflated, you can see the size is pretty much the same as when I started. So I wouldn't really call it inflating, but it definitely got some air bubbles in it. And it is kind of sad once you do inflate it because it stays silver for a few days as the air bubbles rise and come out of the slime. You can see here, I mean, the red is almost completely gone now because I inflated it so much. And so once you're done playing with it, I mean, I have to let it sit for a week to get the air bubbles to come out, and that's just not a lot of fun. So I see why Pilot Slimes recommends to play with it slowly, unless you like this kind of look. And I think my favorite part about these putty slimes is the pigment, so I think I would just play with it slow. But overall, I did like Pilot Slimes, and these were definitely new textures for me. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.